Hey guys, you know the drill. I'm Tom Molly. This is Hearthstone. Today, we're going to do an arena run. It's going to be just a long video. There will be commercials between the games. But, yeah, it'll be a nice long video. A little bit more chill of a pace than past Hearthstone videos I've been putting out. First off, we need to select our class. I'm going to go ahead and grab Warrior, I think. Shaman's also very strong. I don't like Priest in arena. Priest is just a little bit, doesn't have enough going on early game. Frothing Berserker's amazing in constructed play, but actually all of these cards are pretty amazing, period. And I think Azure Drake's just one of the strongest arena cards, period. Go ahead and draft it. And, ooh, Chillin' Yeti or Wrathy Weaponsmith. Actually quite tempting to go with the Wrathy Weaponsmith, but I like Chillin' Yeti a lot. I'm gonna go with the Yeti. It's just an extremely efficient creature. The weapon plus 3/3 is also very good, but I'm going with the Yeti. The Yeti's my bro. Dark Iron Dwarf is still amazing, and I will absolutely pick him here. In general, a little bit of big term strategy. I go for just card efficiency early on, and worry about my mana curve for like the second half of the cards. So draft in 30 cards, last 15. I like to look for efficiency on those. Oh, so this is kind of interesting. I think I like Slam a little bit better than Gnomish Inventor, because you can use it for like desperately clearing out something. Gnomish, like, they both replace themselves on a card most of the time, but if you need Slam to kill something, it can. I'm gonna grab Slam. It'll almost always be a good card to play. It'll allow us to basically trade up. Battle Rage is quite strong. Gnomish Inventor is very good. They really want me to draft it. And I think I'm gonna. It's a good card. Inner Rage is not great in Arena. Definitely has its place in Constructed, though. Dark Iron Dwarf, still incredible. Shattered Sun Cleric's also very, very good, though. Just want to throw that out there. But I'll go with the Dark Iron Dwarf right now. Acidic Swamp Ooze is top tier. So is Kor'kron Elite, I feel. But the Swamp Ooze is just very, very, very strong in Arena. A lot of people like to rely on weapons for their removal. I'm looking at you, rogues and enemy warriors. Loot Hoarder's good. I think I like Loot Hoarder the most out of these. The other two are kind of like pretty decent late game threats, but Loot Hoarder always replaces itself. It's okay early game, oftentimes trades with a 3/2, so even for mana cost, but you don't spend a card, which is incredible. I'm going to give it to Heroic Strike on this one. 2 mana for 4 damage is very strong. A little bit of silence, like having a little bit of silence in there is good, but I like to get it from Spellbreakers rather than Ironbeak Owls. They're a bit more durable, a little bit more worthwhile as minions themselves. Ooh, here. I think Arcane Golem's downside of giving your opponent a Mana Crystal is a little bit too high. I'm gonna grab a Sun Fury Protector, which is like only an okay card. Commanding Shout is also only an okay card, I feel. Well, it replaces itself. I'm not positive on this one, but I'm gonna go with Commanding Shout, actually. Like, Sun Fury Protector is amazing sometimes. Commanding Shout seems like you're almost always going to be able to get value out of it, given that you draw a card, and it only costs 2. Cultmaster and Kor'kron Elite are both very strong. Shield Block is... it's just really slow for Arena. You kind of want to be fighting for board control every single turn. Like, it's wonderful if you draw it late game, because it replaces itself. 3 mana is not that big of a deal when you have 10, and gaining 5 armor is nothing to turn your nose up at, but it's better in a constructed deck where, like, you have a set plan, rather than Arena where you just kind of want to fight for board control at all times. I'm going to go with the Kor'kron Elite over the Cultmaster. It's better at maintaining board control, and because you can charge and choose what it trades into. It's obviously worse from a card advantage perspective, because Cultmaster oftentimes, you know, pays for itself, and then some. I'm already starting to get a little bit worried about this complete gap at 3 mana. I don't know if it's worth drafting a Warsong Commander about, though. I'm gonna go ahead and grab Cultmaster on this one. Battle Rage is also pretty good. I'm a little bit concerned that I don't have very many durable minions, but that'll probably change. I'm gonna go with Cult Master. Grimscale Oracle is terrible. Heroic Strike is good. Fen Creeper is a worse Sen'jin Shield Master. So Sen'jin Shield Master is a 3/5 for 4 mana. This one's a 3/6 for 5 mana. It really doesn't make much sense. So I'm gonna go with Heroic Strike. Strong card. Ooh, Armorsmith is incredible. Defender of Argus is pretty good. Questing Adventurer is not competitive with either of these two cards. Defender of Argus is better at maintaining board control. Armorsmith is really good in Control Warrior decks and Constructed, but probably not as good in Arena. Fiery War Axe, I think, is... You always have to take Fiery War Axe. So we've got a 2 towers Lord of the Rings style mana curve going here at 2 and 4 mana. That's probably a problem. Twilight Drake's pretty dang good. I'm gonna go ahead and grab it. But now is when we want to start evening out this mana curve. I don't know that you can actually win a game with only even mana cards. We have no way of efficiently using our mana on turns, on odd turns. That's not a great place to be in. Teleron Mage is like so bad. I think I've got to go with Warsong Commander. It's a 2/3 for 3, which is like bad as just a minion, but if he lives, he can be kind of worthwhile. We'll give him a chance. We need something at 3 mana, and I think he's better than Dalaran Mage. Especially given that, you know, we have Slam. Slam is the only spell we have, right? Yeah. Yeah, 1 Slam. Dalaran Mage isn't good for us. Reckless Rocketeer's considerable, I guess. Because we kind of need some late game. Silverback Patriarch, I don't know, man. I don't know, he's not great. Again, at 4 mana you can get a Sen'jin Shield Master, which is a 3/5. So obviously, like, 1/4 for 3 mana, not good. But I kinda think I have to take him. I need to level out this mana curve, so I need a Silverback Patriarch. It's an unfortunate reality. Cruel Taskmaster is okay. Notice that these are only 2 and 4 mana cost cards. What do we have going on at 2 mana? We've got Commanding Shout and Heroic Strike and Slam. So we've got 4 cards there that are not, like, actually 2-drops. We only actually have 2 2-drops. Fiery War Axe is also something that I could just slide out on turn 2 and dare him to play minions at that point. So I think Cruel Taskmaster is actually pretty good here. Because while we've got a ton of 2 mana cards, not many of them are actually things that we can play. Wild Pyromancer, however, is. And we will take it. Execute's a wonderful card. Wonderful, wonderful card. Let's grab it. At this point, I'm almost thinking about that shield block. I'd say Battle Rage is, like, usually better, but we still don't have super, like, durable minions going on. Well, alright, we're actually pretty decent on that. But it's certainly between these two. Battle Rage has a bit more upside. Like, so your hero's almost always damaged, and if you've got 1 minion that's damaged, Battle Rage is a great card. The question is, you know, can you get that minion that's damaged? Which is hard to do if you don't have board control. So Battle Rage is therefore a little bit of a very win card. But Shield Block is sort of like a replace this card, don't gain any board control card. So I'll go with Battle Rage. Shield Block's only good if you have a reliable late game. Oh. Sea Giant's like one of the best rares in the game. Shield Slam's bad in Arena, good and Constructed. Mountain Giant is like you want to be getting rid of the cards in your hand. So I'm gonna go with the Sea Giant. Just, you know, people play minions onto the battlefield in Arena, so Sea Giant is pretty good. I'm gonna grab Leper Gnome to try and, like, create turn 3 plays for myself. He's, like, not a good card. Don't get me wrong. Dark Iron Dwarf is far and away the best card here. But we need some odd mana cost cards. Oh, but is it worth a Murloc Raider, though? That is just, like, the worst card. No, it's not. We'll go with the Dark Iron Dwarf here. Like, Leper Gnome, at least you get that 2 bonus damage onto him. It's, like, slightly better than a Murloc Raider. I draw the line at Murloc Raider, though. That's... That's just not a great card. He just dies to a hero power. Which I guess is at least, like, advantageous from a tempo perspective. But a lot of times he's just a worthless late game draw. I'm going Dark Iron Dwarf. It's making our deck a little bit awkward, but it could be worse. Ooh, Spellbreaker's very strong, but we need Execute. We need something to kind of flesh out our early game possibilities. Sousy Deckhand is good if you have a weapon equipped, but unfortunately we've only gotten the 1 Fiery War Axe. No other weapons on here. I am considering Inner Rage. I'm kind of considering all of these. I think I'm just gonna grab Voodoo Doctor. Like, he's not great, but sometimes you can use him to heal a minion, and then he's pretty okay. Like, if you can actually get a good trade because of him, he's good. Versus charge while you have a weapon equipped is almost never going to happen. Inner Rage can be strong. Like, you can sometimes remove a minion with it for free, or give a minion +2 attack. But the thing is that either way, you are spending a card, even if you're not spending mana. And card advantage tends to be quite important in Arena. I think Flesh Eating Ghoul's good. He's certainly good enough to justify getting when you need 3 mana cards. Alright, and our final card, always a rare. I think Frothing Berserker is far and away the best of these 3 cards. They're all 3 mana cost. Look, isn't that nice? Okay, so it's a good idea to evaluate and see how we think we did. I feel like we're lacking in actual early drops still, so we've got like 1/2 1-cost cards that we can just drop. Fiery War Axe I'd count. Let's see, not any of these. None of these are like actual 2-drops, nor is Slam. We've got 1, 2-ish. Cruel Taskmaster you don't want to be dropping onto. We've got like, I don't know, like really Acidic Swamp Ooze, Loot Hoarder, and Wild Pyromancer. Like, we do not have much in terms of early game drops, even though we've got very early mana costs. And we don't really have a lot of things that... Like, we've got some card draw, but not a ton. I think we're going to get 4 wins. I think we're going to get 4 wins, because you can always expect some misplays from your opponents, and you can always expect perfection from yourself. We're very, very strong once we hit 4 mana. I think I'm actually understating how good we are late game. I think we've got quite a bit of card draw. We're going first. For sure I'm holding on to Acidic Swamp Ooze. I'm going to toss back both of these. That Cruel Taskmaster might have been a mistake, tossing him back. We have an Execute. No turn 1 play.
Greetings, friend.
Aw, hello. Hello, my friendly shaman friend. Alright. It's, like, kind of tempting to try and hold on to the Acidic Swamp Ooze and see if he plays a weapon, but we'll just toss it out there. Establish our board presence early. And see what he does. Oh my. Oh, cool. We draw the answer here. Heroic Strike is great in this situation. Allows us to keep board control. Unbound Elementals are actually really good to clear off the board. Like, you don't want them sticking around. They're very scary cards because they gain, whenever he plays an Overlord card, he gains +1/+1. Hey, Bryce, I'm recording videos. Thank you very much. He throws a mind control tech out. Yeah, I mean, I think I can drop my flesh-eating ghoul and just run right into him. And then we've got a 4/3 on the board. Seems strong. And, you know, he's even got a little bit of upside. If he sticks around for a turn, he's real good. I wish we had a coin so we could get out both of these next turn. Because giving them charge would be fantastic, probably against whatever he plays here. As is, if I have to make a choice, it'll kind of depend on what he plays onto the board, whether I go with the 2/3 and a 1/1, or the 2/3 that gives things charge. He goes with Feral Spirit. Oh, really? Unfortunately, that is, like, going to definitely kill my Flesh-Eating Ghoul. So, I'm going to go ahead and drop the Warsong Commander, because I think he's going to, you know, I'll kill one of these with him, and then I think he'll probably trade the other one into it. Things I might need to be concerned about would be, like, Lightning Storm. But even then, it's got to kind of be a lucky Lightning Storm in order to kill both of them. So I'll go ahead and just do that and armor up. Next turn, Razorfen Hunter is a definite possibility. If he plays enough minions and, like, doesn't trade here for some reason... Sea Giant's probably not happening next turn. But it would be nice. It would be nice. I don't know why I'm so enamored with the idea of getting Razorfen Hunter out with the Warsong Commander giving it charge. Just gonna run into things so hard. Yeah! Alright. He was overloaded, that's why he's got so little mana. Overloaded from casting the Feral Spirit. Forked Lightning comes out. Dang. It's a rough Forked Lightning. I think it's fine to just play the Razorfen Hunter here. I don't really think that it's necessary to execute that. It can't trade with my Razorfen Hunter without him playing a card.
What now?
Execute's a little bit too valuable to burn on that. So let's go ahead and cast this. And armor up a little more. Again, I'm fairly confident in this deck if we can get to late game. Sea Giant is good. We've got a ton of 4 mana cost minions. I mean, Sea Giant will probably get hexed. It's really uncommon for Shaman to be lacking hex. And it's 3 mana and it turns your minion into a 0/1 frog with taunt. That's what hex does. If he doesn't run his wolf into either of my minions, I get to drop Defender of Argus, which will be really nice. Gives, like, whoever's next to him when you drop him, it gives them +1/+1 in taunt. And it's a battle cry. It's not an enchantment, so killing the Defender of Argus doesn't get rid of it on these 2 minions. So he's quite nice. He's really basically like a Chillwind Yeti if you have board control, and worse if you don't.
We must cleanse the
See how it is? See how it is? Oh! The plays! I think it's time for a Sea Giant. Like if he's got hard removal, he's got hard removal, and it goes down. But next turn, I can at least play 2 minions. Not well. It's not an optimal use of 2 minions. For those of you that might be remembering, Dark Iron Dwarf is giving +2 attack permanently. It was patched. Last patch to be only +2 attack this turn. Alright, so he's just gonna attack past me. He knows he does not have an answer for that yet. Ooh. Don't mind if I do. So, trying to think of an optimal way to activate him, and then be able to battle rage. I think in this case it might be worth the execute onto the wolf, just to get 3 cards for my 3 cards, but I leave a Wild Pyromancer behind. You know, I think it's actually probably better to drop a Dark Iron Dwarf and a Defender of Argus. That's not really a misplay, because he way overkilled the thing that he needed to kill anyways. So most likely he'll trade these 2 into my Sea Giant. He can't have that living through this turn. And he probably just won't attack with the Stoneclaw Totem. But, that's assuming he doesn't have anything relevant in his hand, which is pretty unlikely. I still haven't seen a Hex from him. Okay, so then he's just gonna trade everything while that's still alive then. That would be my guess anyhow. I don't know that he'll run this in himself, actually.
There's little time.
You can't attack past him, he has taunt. Hurry yourself. Oh, did he get it? He didn't get the attack off. Womp, womp, womp. Unfortunately for us, there's no way of, like, killing him. So we've got, like, got a lot of options here in our hand. There's no way of killing him without killing him first. And there's no way of getting rid of that in my hand either.
Done.
I think I have to trade into the Cult Master, unfortunately. It's like he draws a lot of cards if I pop my combo there at all. I'm gonna hold my cards. Probably a mistake. there's nothing for me to execute, which means that I couldn't have... maybe I should have played the Wild Pyromancer, executed the 1/1. But it would have also killed this and let him draw a card. And then if I Battle Rage, like, I get back 4 cards, which is really nice, but... How many Cult Masters do you have?
The Frost Wolves stand ready.
He has a lot of Cult Masters, man. Ancestral Healing. Okay, so he's given that taunt. Which at least he's worth 2 cards now. That's nice for us. We've got 9 mana. I need to let him draw a card for that. Like, there's not really any way for me to play around it. And I think that what I should do...
What now?
This will be a 4/4. So it's going to get traded with the Cult Master anyhow. Like, probably. But what I can do is draw 3 cards if I play this right. Pyromancer goes off. Oh no, everything takes 1 damage. And, oh, alright, I do actually kill now the Cult Master and my Wild Pyromancer. Cool. I've been forgetting about that second spell, proccing that. We're still way behind, though. Like, we've got a modicum of board presence in the form of this Twilight Drake. The only real good news is that we can probably kill it. Like, if he plays 1 big thing, we can pretty much kill it. Like, 6 damage there, plus 4 is 10, and we can probably draw a card from Cult Master and this guy getting sacked. But if he plays, like, a gaggle of little things, we're in a pretty bad spot.
Give me a quest.
Yeah, like that.
You gotta be kidding me!
Oh, but that's good. We like that a lot. We don't like that. We don't like that at all. Dang it. I just wanted it to live for 1 turn. So that I could Cult Master it. I definitely have to Heroic Strike into that.
I wonder.
Like, he'll probably just run into the Dark Iron Dwarf, but he might misplay. He might misplay and run past the Dark Iron Dwarf. So, I'll just play the Dark Iron Dwarf. That's only this turn, so... kind of some negative synergy going on between it and Cult Master right now. We gotta top deck our way out of this one. Oh, Sunwalker? No! I think I need to pop Commanding Shout. Like, mostly as a see what we draw sort of thing. Get a Silverback Patriarch. At that point, I think it's worth dropping my Frothing Berserker. Just because I'll have enough things on the board that his board doesn't deal with all of them that way. With what he's got on the board, there's no downside to running my Dark Iron Dwarf into that. But If he has like a lightning storm or something like that, it's a pretty big downside. With that said, I think that I need to get a little bit lucky in order to win this, so I'll trade into that. Also gives the Frothing Berserker one more attack. At which point he needs to take the Sunwalker and hit the ape with it, and then use his Venture Company Mercenary to take out the Frothing Berserker. Because this will be a 5-4 after whatever hits this hits it. It's unfortunate for me that that got played. It means that no matter what, I really won't be able to trade my Frothing Berserker. Or, like, I probably won't be able to kill his Venture Company Mercenary. At all. Which, I mean, at least it's slowing down his tempo, but I'm a lot more worried about the fact that he has 5 cards in his hand and I have 1. I am pretty surprised that he's taking this long. Okay, so he decides to go with Fork Lightning. That's a pretty big downer for me. Yeah, I was gonna say he's gotta have something for that then. I think that was an overreaction from him. Slam and draw a card. Alright, so I can always Azure Drake in order to draw a card, but Cult Mastering and drawing a card only really happens right now, so we'll do that. We've got to have something on the board in order to Cult Master and draw a card, and we throw a Loot Hoarder out there. This is what we were kind of hoping for from our deck, is just being able to draw more cards than our opponent. Hadn't been panning out for us so well so far. Notably, he only needs 3 damage in his hand in order to kill us, but we'll see if he notices that. And in the meantime, we will shoot catapults at him. Yeah, suck catapult. Cult Master does not draw cards when that happens, so we just got the one from the Loot Hoarder. Ouch, my face. Well, we'll see what we draw. Probably done. Probably gonna die. That does not help us at all. We need to remove both of these creatures, and that is just, there's no way that that's happening.
Back to work.
Well, Cruel Taskmaster is now huge Venture Company Mercenary, and then concede the game. That's rough. One of the harder first games I've had in Arena in a long time. I'm trying to think of what really stopped us dead. I feel like we just kind of weren't getting the card draw that we needed. Those, like, 3 back-to-back cards that helped us draw when we were already dead. If those had come a little bit earlier and given us some more options early on, would have really helped. Around, like, 8 mana. Our worthy opponent played well, though.
Garrosh versus Malfurion.
I must protect the one.
Victory or death.
I like these cards. I'd like to draw these late game, not so much right at the start. Loot Hoarder I'll hold on to just because it's something to do on turn 2, and we talked a lot about how we just don't really have 2-drops. I will not coin it out at all. I'll drop Leper Gnome. And then I will drop Loot Hoarder. It's a pretty good chance that they both just get taken out by 0 power, but I'm kind of okay with that. We knew the risks we were taking. Yeah, suck it. You're at 27 health. We're winning. Mind if I roll knee? I'm doing that mostly because everyone knows Acidic Swamp Ooze is a top tier card in Arena. And so my Fiery War Axe would be a bit of a liability. Oh, we could coin out a Dark Iron Dwarf and run it in. And I think I'm going to do that. It's a big play for board control. If he plays a Yeti, hell, we can kill it with our other Dark Iron Dwarf. Try to stop us. We got dwarfs for days. Alright, we desperately need to deal 1 damage to that. We'll go ahead and deal 3, I think, with the Fiery War Axe. I think that's probably the best play. And just clearing your opponent's board is pretty good. Maintaining strong minions is usually a bit better than trying to keep your health topped up. This is a very silly play from him. I think if he had almost any other option, he wouldn't have done that. Because I'm just going to clear it with my Fiery War Axe. There's no way that it gets the Dark Iron Dwarf. I'm also very, very confused by him not trading into the Voodoo Doctor. Can't think of a good reason for him to do that. Oh well. This might be one of those times about those misplays I was talking about. So now we've got like really solid board control. Can't get cleared by a single swipe. He'd need like a spell power swipe, and even then we'd still have a 1 health Defender of Argus left over. And he'd have like a 2/2 on the board. I'm very okay with him playing that. I believe I'm just going to Cult Master and run that in. I could also Battle Rage to draw 2 cards right now.
What now?
Not sure if I'm greedy enough to not do that.
Into the breach.
I think I probably should. I've got the 2 mana left over. I think it's better than the, better than armoring up. Now a swipe is pretty rough for us, because it just leaves a 3/1 with taunt, but it happens. You can't run from swipe forever. We already kind of got the value out of our cards. Oh no! We've got a pretty good response to a Leper Gnome in the form of a Silverback Patriarch. Just kind of browsing. I think that I just play the Silverback Patriarch and a Razorfen Hunter behind it. Throw some stuff on the board. And if he swipes again, I'm pretty okay with it. It's still 2 cards for 2 cards. Because he'll trade the Leper Gnome at that point. Silverback Patriarch will die to the 4 damage from the swipe. Okay. I'm fine with 2 for 2s if they burn swipe to get them. What does he manage to play onto the board here, though? Nothing? That is A-okay with me. Oh, Twilight Drake. What a fantastic card to draw. Get to play it as a 4/6. I'm going to go ahead and play the Dark Iron Dwarf just as a 4/4, because it will help us establish board control. We've got Slam Execute to take things out. We've got Commanding Shout to clear the board. We've got a lot of tools at our disposal. If he doesn't play minions, we probably win anyhow. Not this turn, but in the near future. Oh, definitely slam executing that. See what we draw before we play the execute. Ooh. It was 1 mana cheaper. It was 1 mana cheaper, but the execute is just too important here. I feel, anyhow. Otherwise, we're going to have to drop both of these to 1 health in order to kill it, and that's not worth it.
Well played.
Arguably, I should try and Commanding Shout just to draw a card, but I think we're fine to not do that and just play the Acidic Swamp Ooze instead. There's nothing that really closes out the game if I draw it from the Commanding Shout. It's much more likely that we can end it out, because even if he plays a Taunter, like even if he plays a really big Taunter, I can just run into that and execute it. Finish him off. The 8 damage more than covers the 6, even with the almost inevitable +1 armor that he'll get this turn. Oh, he's restoring 5 health though. We still have 11 damage on the board, so he needs a little bit more.
We must cleanse the
Big mistake.
Sunwell.
He needed to shapeshift there. Because I had 11 damage on the board. If he would have shapeshifted, he would have guaranteed bought himself 1 more turn unless I had damage in my hand.
Garrosh versus Thrall.
Doomhammer. Victory or death.
We want to ditch everything but the Leper Gnome. The Razorfen Hunter is pretty debatable. I probably could have held on to that. But I was hoping for a 2-drop, basically. 2/1 1-drops are great against Shaman because they don't have a hero power that guarantees removal. They can, like, hope for a 1/1 totem.
Wanna blow something up?
No, no! Oh. Curses. I think it's a coin flip whether he hits the,
Someone called for the
what's it called? Hits the Leper Gnome or not. The fact that the other 2 bombs went into my face was just a bonus for him. Yeah, it's a coin flip because there's 3 different targets and 3 different bombs. Silverback Patriarch's terrible, but at least it will give me something to Dark Iron Dwarf next turn. I think we're going to wait until we see an axe, if it's at all possible, before we drop an Acidic Swamp Ooze. Oh, that put it just out of range of the Dark Iron Dwarf. That's rather rough.
I wonder.
I think I Dark Iron Dwarf and run into the freaking Healing Totem? It's either that, or I play the Acidic Swamp Ooze in order to trade there after he hits that? No, because that'll still be a 4/4. Because it'll only take 1 damage and then it'll heal back up. I might need a Gnomish Inventor just to draw a card.
What's now?
Because right now I don't have a good answer for this. Next turn, Dark Iron Dwarfing this is a good answer. Yeah, I'm happy with that play.
Pass me that arc light spanner.
Ooh, alternatively, Cruel Taskmaster and running into the Gnomish Inventor is a possibility. Another alternative is doing Commanding Shout, Cruel Taskmaster, and running into that. I think that's actually the way to go.
Back to work.
I should have Commanding Shouted first, though. Fiery War Axe doesn't actually change my plan. It was sort of a group effort there. Both of the cards were going to work in concert. It does leave a good trade on the board right here, but... now I know I can Fiery War Axe and clear out the Gnomish Inventor. Who will be dropped down to 3 health still. That's 2 minus 2 plus 1. The Wrath of Air Totem. Unbound Elemental, pretty scary card.
What now?
He might top deck a weapon, but he certainly doesn't have one in his hand right now. I'm gonna go with clearing out everything on his board that deals damage. He can have the Spell Power Totem because I don't have much on the board right now. It's usually a good idea to clear those out as quickly as possible.
I am not a morning person.
Think about slamming the Imp Master. I think doing Azure Drake and then slamming the Imp Master is probably the best move. We're gonna clear out the Healing Totem. I'm torn between the Wrath of Air Totem and the Imp Master. Which one's a better idea to kill? I think the Wrath of Air Totem is the better target, though. Because if he doesn't get healing, like, that's just a 1-1. At the end of the turn, it will die and turn into a 1-1 with no health. If he heals it, it's decent for him, but I'm a little bit more scared of a spell-powered Lightning Storm or something, making it so that he can trade a 1-1 into my Azure Drake. Or just killing it outright.
Give me a quest.
Always giving him a quest. Oh my word. Oh, I was expecting him to just use his face to kill that. Oh, the Imp Master's back in his hand. That was a great turn for him. What do we have in response? Not much in all honesty. We can play this as a 4-5. We could taunt it. Give it, like, drop Defender of Argus.
What now?
Make it a 5-6. But once he buffs this, it's still gonna die to it. So I think for sure that comes out. And then I'm torn on Warsong Commander or Dark Iron Dwarf. I think I need the Dark Iron Dwarf.
What now?
Because it'll at least survive against his Panda without him playing another card.
You call that a win?
Job's done.
Curious to see what's going to happen. My big hope here is that I draw something small to Warsong Commander into a hopefully still low health questing adventurer. I mean, if he left things on the board, Defender of Argus could fill that niche. Oh, Mother of God. Alright, so he's probably just gonna kill both of those, or hit me in the face for 7? Okay. That legitimately could have been worse. Dang, if we had one more mana, we could do some serious shenanigans with, like, Cult Master and Warsong Commander.
I wonder.
This might be way too greedy, but I think I'm going to hold my cards for next turn. And I can Warsong Commander and then either Razorfen Hunter and buff it with Defender of Argus, or Razorfen Hunter and Cult Master in order to draw cards on them as they die. I'm just going to Hero Power. We'll see if it kills us. Probably wasn't a bad move to... Well, I don't know, because anything that gives him things to run into gives him ways of drawing cards and further cementing his advantage in this late game. Alright, really happy with him not playing cards there. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and Warsong Commander. Because we're already at 10 mana, I'm gonna go with Cult Master being better than using Defender of Argus. Defender of Argus would make it so that I could, like, trade without dying there, and then trade first trade the now 2-1 Boar into his Cult Master. Not in that order, of course. That might actually be better. Yeah, that's better. I'm gonna play for board control. Hopefully we don't get, like, a placement bug here. Please? Please?
My seal for Argus.
There we go. It's the kind of turn we needed. If these live and I can drop Cult Master and clean up with them, that's fantastic for us. Do not hit my 3-1. Don't do it. Don't do it with the Imp Master. Don't do it when the Imp Master drops an Imp. Don't do it with either of those Spirit Wolves. Alright, he's got like a little bit better than 50-50 odds to actually kill this. Just don't do it. Oh. No. Stop. No. Me. Face. Face. No. Oh my god, that Imp Master. Are you kidding me? Oh. Here, have some buffs. Jerk wolf. If he has bloodlust, we're dead.
Well played.
I think there's a lot of things that actually would kill us. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 damage, so he just needs an extra 7.
I wonder.
7 damage is actually hard to burst. But if he has bloodlust, he definitely wins. Alright, so that's 3 of them. That's 6 of them. This will leave us at 1 health with him attacking with everything. He has some dramatic finish.
That was a mistake.
Yeah, he actually could have, I'm not actually sure. Well, I'm dead anyways. He could have played this first and gotten it buffed. That's why he said that was a mistake.
Well played. Well.
We'll let him finish us off. Hopefully he does it courteously and quickly.
You gotta be kidding me!
Is he? I'm guessing he's just being a jerk. Yeah, he's just being a jerk. Nope. Do you have? Okay. Oh, yeah, he's being a jerk. He's being a jerk, ladies and gentlemen. That is exactly what he was doing. Alright. We're down but not out. We are 1 and 2. It's not a good place to be in the arena. Might be below average. Might end up below average this run. But I think that we are about to resurge. Take people out. Let's hop back into the queue. I'm not sure exactly what to blame. I honestly think that we've been up against some pretty above average decks. They've really been able to take it late game and win there. And I think our deck is a little bit above average in late game. We've got a lot of card draw, some Master Drake and stuff in there. So I think that first one was kind of a bad draw, the first loss. And that second one was just, our opponent's deck was pretty excellent. And we kind of actually managed to hit like a timing window in there before we were going to level out and take the super late game.
Victory or death.
I think Slam's pretty versatile early game. I'll hold on to it. I think I'm going to toss back both of these. The Voodoo Doctor's a bit dangerous to throw back, but I'm going to do it anyhow. Sea Giant's a no-brainer to throw back. Getting executing a Dark Iron Dwarf. Punished for the greed of throwing back that Voodoo Doctor. I don't really know what I was thinking holding on to the Voodoo Doctor. It's like Norshire Clerk or things like that. Like, there's a lot of ways that a priest could punish it. We luck into a loot hoarder here. We've got a lot of 2-cost cards though.
Wanna blow something up?
Don't you? Alright, at least it hit him, and it was a free card, so, you know, it could have been worse. We could slam him. I think that we take a little bit of a tempo hit by dropping Flesh-Eating Ghoul. I think that that's the correct move to do here. Slam seems a little bit more valuable to hold on to. It's possible that he has an answer for Flesh-Eating Ghoul other than running this into it, like a Shadow Word Pain, but that'll still take up most of his turn. Most of his mana this turn is what I mean. Power Word Shield then. And he can heal it right back up. Pretty efficient turn. So we could Korkron Elite, or we could Slam Execute. Either one leaves us with nothing on the board.
What now?
Slam cycles our Slam, but gets rid of our Execute, which is potentially very valuable late game. I mean, I could try playing it risky and Korkron Elite and attack past this for his face. That seems quite greedy, though. Because all that he has to do is buff this for 1 health, which there's 1,000,001 ways to do in this game. So I think I'm just going to trade. He got a lot of value out of that Mad Bomber. Between Power Word Shield and his heal. He also had to dump a bunch of mana into it, but he is definitely ahead right now.
What now?
I think dropping an Azure Drake here is fine. I think it's better than the Slam Execute. I'm still concerned about, like, what happens really late game. But this will let us draw a card. Definitely leaves open the possibility that he buffs and kills it. Slam Execute might have been better. Okay, so he's gonna have something to finish that off then. That's pretty okay with me. He spent a lot in order to finish that off. Chillin' Yeti seems fantastic in this situation, because he's just got 2 4 damage minions on the board, and the 4/5 is pretty good at dealing with that. So let's just do that and armor up. I think we're fine. I think that this right here was a little bit of an overreaction to my Azure Drake. Also, we're helped a lot by the fact that Chillin' Yeti is freaking incredible.
Wanna blow something up?
Right here, just all 3 right there. Man, I would love it if an opponent got a Mad Bomber that didn't kill a minion that I have. Like, just 1 Mad Bomber that didn't get a kill. That's all I'm asking for. Is that so wrong? Is it so wrong to want that? I wish I would have Slam Executed this way back when.
What now?
I think, anyhow. I think that would have been better. I mean, I could still just execute it right now, actually. I think that might be pretty good, actually. Drop a Leper Gnome and a Dark Iron Dwarf, and just execute that. Leper Gnome pressures him into trading. I mean, he'll probably just trade that, but...
What now?
If he doesn't get lucky with the Demolisher hitting my Dark Iron Dwarf, he has to trade into it. With both of those two. Cool. Or use a card. I mean, like, Holy Nova's great for him here. But that's oftentimes the case. I don't have a big minion in my hand, and that's really all that doesn't get crushed by Holy Nova is huge minions. Oh, the Shadow Madness. Does that mean that it hurts me when it goes off? Do I take 2 damage there? Yeah, of course I do. That's quite rough. Yeah, he needs to do that. Otherwise I get a free demolisher.
For the crusade!
That seems like a great target for Slam. This will be a 4-5 if we play it now. Same after Slam. We could drop it and buff it with Defender of Argus, which will make it a 5-6. We can't do that and slam the Divine Shield off of Scarlet Crusader. A 5-6 lives through both of these minions if it doesn't get hit by the Demolisher, which there's only a 1 in 3 chance of it getting hit. So I think I'm going to take that. I don't think that there's much better that I could draw right now.
My shield for Argus.
And if this doesn't get hit, yeah, excellent. So this means that he has to burn some card in order to get through this turn. And if he can't get through that this turn, it probably leaves open the opportunity to slam his Scarlet Crusader for a card draw and removing the shield.
I wonder.
We can kill nearly any minion by Dark Iron Dwarfing this Twilight Drake as well. Especially with Slam. And we can play our whole hand that we have right now without... Or sorry, in one turn. I don't know what I was going to say without what, but... Alright, so he has started trading.
I smell blood.
Oh, that is quite tempting. I think playing the Sea Giant right now is a must. And the reason is that any later, and we're going to be running into 10 mana, at which point if he has a Mind Control and I play Sea Giant, he just wins. So I need to play it now and at least have like a turn to gain some board control from it.
My blade be thirsty.
We can still slam and Sea Giant. Let's go ahead and do that. Slam that. Nah, we don't slam. We just armor up. We trade there. Trade there. He obviously can kill the Drake, but we're in pretty good shape now. Have some pretty solid board control until he mind controls Sea Giant next turn. Oh, that's quite unfortunate. Because, yeah, this thing will be huge for 1 turn before it dies to that. He is at 30 health. Is it wrong if I'm considering slamming my own Sea Giant in anticipation of Mind Control next turn? It's like the thought would be Wild Pyromancer, slam my own Sea Giant. He goes down to 3 health. But I draw a card and it kills both of those.
I wonder.
I'll slam it after he mind controls it.
You have been.
Yay!
Well
Alright, 2 wins. We're back to average, guys. We're back to average. We're gonna claw our way to above average. 4 wins. We're gonna get 4 wins on this deck. Are you ready for it? I'm ready for it. It's gonna happen. Sorry for that weird Windows button thing noise. That was me. I had to re-plug in my headphones. We're taking them down. Taking it to them. Pow, pow, pow. You can't stop us. Our warlock, or warrior deck with really janky mana curves gonna take it to you. Oh yeah.
Garrosh versus
Paladins are super strong in arena.
I will fight.
That is a fact. This is a great draw though.
or death.
It's better if you are going first. I think I'm gonna throw Cult Master back. He's better late game. Heroic Strike will hold on to for sure. We'll have 2 Heroic Strikes, in fact.
Well met.
Greetings.
Let's Gallivant out a Leper Gnome. We're very obviously going to be okay for the mid game, or sorry, for the early game, like these 2 Heroic Strikes. Nothing too bad can really happen to us with them out there. So he'll trade this into there if I don't trade here. So I'll just trade that. Next turn I will be coining out a Chillwind Yeti, unless for some reason I need to do something fancy. Like that actually, that necessitates doing something fancy.
You call that a weapon?
Alright, we are officially ahead. For now. No Yeti, no Yeti, no Yeti, no Yeti, no Yeti, no Yeti. No Yeti, no Yeti, no Yeti. Oh, Blessing of Might? Oh, that's totally fine with me.
What does the future hold?
I think I just Yeti and trade across here. I mean, I could also Frothing Berserker and trade across. Which has a little bit more upside for damage, but if he... Well, he doesn't have a True Silver Champion in his hand, because that would have been a great play last turn. So my Frothing Berserker might actually make it out okay. No, I'll go with the Chillin' Yeti. I'd just kind of like... I'd rather have the 1 extra health on the board right now than the possibility of my Frothing Berserker getting a little bit bigger in ensuing turns. Alright, so now we can Frothing Berserker. And run in here, and then Heroic Strike will take 5 damage to the face, but we'll get some serious board control out of it. And this is like a pretty strong board to have out. It's not really scared of Consecration. Like on turn 6, it's quite good. Argent Commander turns out is also quite good. Ah, that's alright. That's an interesting question for me. Do I want to Cult Master and trade? I think not. I think I just want a Heroic Strike and run into him. Maybe like Corcoran Elite, charge his face a little bit. Start applying some pressure in that way.
I wonder.
I think that's good. Because Because next turn, now I've got like 2 minions on the board. Consecration doesn't kill both of them. He'd need like a Pyromancer Consecration. Or an Equality Consecration in order to kill both of them. So...
Follow the rules.
pretty likely. I think I just play these two and
What now?
run the Yeti into the flesh-eating golem. And probably just run this into that as well, so as to not have my Cult Master get sniped and lose the card.
Joy will die. Uh-oh.
Oh. I actually thought that he was at 4-3. Oh, right, the Flesh-Eating Golem's not a 3-3. It's a 2-3. It's fine with me. Consecration is really bad for us right now. But I don't think he has one. He would have had to draw it. It's been a long time now where Consecration would be amazing for him, and he has not produced one. Flesh-Eating Ghoul seems solid. I think I should go ahead and, like, just attack things. It's like, this is the most obvious thing that's pretty much always gonna happen here. And now I'm thinking I run that into there, and unless I draw something incredible, I just execute the Frostwolf Warlord. Dropping a Flesh-Eating Ghoul earlier would have been nice, but it's not the end of the world. So now we can Twilight Drake, Flesh-Eating Golem, and execute.
What now?
And we are now very far ahead. We've got 5 cards to his 3. He'll definitely trade into the Cult Master here. No reason for him not to. Every reason for him. Like, he's pretty much... Oh, well, now I guess he could try and... No, he wants the... Yeah, he wants that trade there. For sure. That's very silly. Because I draw a card. Drawing a card is so good. Does this guy just not know how good drawing cards is? It's so good. Now it's like, now it's just extract as much worth from Cult Master as possible. We've got 9 mana. Warsong Commander and Cruel Taskmaster, like these 3 are definitely getting played. So that's 6 mana. We'll end up probably just armoring up, but let's see if we can do it kind of as controlled as possible here. So we need a Warsong Commander, because we want a Cruel Taskmaster in order to trade the Twilight Drake 1-for-1. The idea here is we want to maximize like how much mana we have when we're drawing cards. Alright, Sea Giant's not going to be playable this turn, no matter what. We can trade this here, which I think is good. Voodoo Doctor ourselves. Trade that into there. Draw a card. Trade that there. And armor up. Cleared his board. Didn't cost us any cards. I guess Warsong Commander, arguably. But he still needs to kill the Cult Master before I'm actually down a Warsong Commander.
Reporting for duty.
Oh, Wild Pyromancer, you are too kind.
What now?
I wish that you could
can't play.
target execute onto something that was not yet damaged. I guess I don't explicitly know that that doesn't work.
Do you like to play with fire?
I can't play
Okay,
that.
so no, we can't, like, execute that. No no tomfoolery there. I think just flooding the board here is too good to pass up. Well, take that back, actually. Commanding Shout is too good to pass up.
For the welfare!
Okay, so next turn, Battle Rage will be really good unless he just top decked a Consecration, but he'll also be dead.
Reporting for duty.
Once you get into the case where, like, you're going to be drawing a ton of cards, he heals me.
The victory.
Alright, we're taking it to him, guys. I told you. I told you. We're going 4-3. I was 1-2. You didn't believe me. I remember you specifically, viewer, being like, pfft. Tom's 1-2. He thought he was going to go 4-3. It's not going to happen. That's what you said. You were wrong. This is episode 2. The Tompire Strikes Back. That was horrible. Empire Strikes Back is episode 5. Oh man, I'm the worst.
Versus Thrall!
For Doomhammer.
But this is match 5. The Tompire Strikes Back. Or maybe that was? I don't remember. I think we're 3-2 right now. Point being, how do we feel about these cards? I feel like with how early game the rest of our hand is, Twilight Drake is going to be quite weak, and we would like to mulligan it in hopes that it comes back later after we have some card draw in the late game. Replaces itself with something else castable early. Cool. I'm gonna cast Leper Gnome and not use coin to cast Acidic Swamp Ooze. The reason why is that I think a pretty likely response to Leper Gnome would be him using Stormforged Axe, which is 2 mana and an overload of 1 for a 2/3 axe. In which case, Acidic Swamp Ooze is just like, yeah, you don't have that anymore.
Greetings, friend.
I should say greetings back, I'm being rude.
Greetings.
Although the warrior is quite rude anyhow. His response, ha, greetings, you jerk warrior. I think I just Heroic Strike that. Alternatively, I could Cruel Taskmaster and then run my Leper Gnome into it.
What now?
Seems like the Cruel Taskmaster is far more situational than the Heroic Strike, and therefore saving the Heroic Strike is probably nice. Also, this leaves a 2/2 on the board rather than a 2/1, which seems slightly superior.
I wonder.
If he Unbound Elementals, I Heroic Strike it. Alright. Oh, Frosty Berserker seems fantastic. Expecting him to play something fairly large because he's kind of been just waiting for turn 4. A lot of times turn 4 is where Arena decks turn on. That's the one. I could either Heroic Strike or Execute. Either one will require the sacrifice of my Cruel Taskmaster. Heroic Strike will actually buff up my Frothing Berserker one more. And I mean, Execute can kill anything that's been damaged. Whereas Heroic Strike just deals 4 damage, so in case of late game threats, holding the Execute is better. So here we go. That'll hit him for 6. We got a 6-4 on the board. Ladies and gentlemen, Frothing Berserker is live. He did extract card advantage from that. It was 2 cards for 1.
You gotta be kidding me!
So he clearly doesn't have an answer to this Frothing Berserker. I feel. I think that's pretty obvious at this point. So I think I'm going to Kor'kron Elite and charge into that. Acidic Swamp Ooze, drop a Loot Hoarder, because I'll have mana left over. And then he'll have 10 damage. Like, hitting your opponent for 10 is pretty worthwhile. If he plays a Taunter, I can run into it with Loot Hoarder and Execute.
My thanks.
Oh no, it's so frozen! It's so frozen!
Well played.
Hey, give me that!
It's a little bit unfortunate. I'm gonna go ahead and just throw my cards on the table here. I'm very unsure of whether that was the right move or not, but it gives us 6 damage on the board. Or sorry, 6 damage without the Frothing Berserker.
Join or die!
Which seems like it's got decent odds at killing him. Especially with how he's played this turn so far. Alright, I seem to recall you doubting me, viewer, when I was 1 and 2 in this arena run. I just want to let you know that that's okay, we can still be friends. It's cool. I was totally right. I've gotten at least 4 wins. Let's just get that out of the way, though, you know? We'll move forward, it's fine, we can be friends. You and I, we're cool. We're cool. We're just hanging out and playing some Hearthstone together. It's a great time. I bet when I ended that video and I was 1-2, you were like, why? Why are you even breaking this up into parts, Tom? I am recording the commentary live. I'm not like recording myself after the fact. So I was a little bit worried that I'd just lose the game after that and it'd be a 1-3 arena run.
You asked for it.
And I'd have a break after a 50-minute long part and then like a 5-minute part where I just get like run over by some absurd Murloc arena deck or something. But that didn't happen. We're in a good place. I feel like Razorfen Hunter's kind of just a weak card. But that's probably not a good reason to throw it back. Like, this Chillwind Yeti is even a little bit debatable. Maybe I should hold him. But I've got so many 2 and 4 cost things that I think throwing it back is fine. And hoping for either something earlier game to replace it, or something about as good. You know, Dark Iron Dwarf, Twilight Drake, I've got all of these things. But we get a nice suite of early game cards. Really nothing that you want to coin out.
Greetings.
Hello.
Well, up against a mage.
Put this apple on your head.
I loathe Knife Juggler. Think I'm gonna Heroic Strike into it. It's so hard to play minions into it, really. Alternatively, I could Slam, but I like the possibility of drawing a card on Slam. Razorfen Hunter is not a bad card to play into it, but still. Silverback Patriarch is an okay response. I'd really like a way to Slam and still have a worthwhile turn. I am gonna Slam. We'll see if I can draw a 1 or 2 cost minion. We get Warsong Commander. That's unfortunate. Coining would just allow us to armor up, which isn't great, but my thought is that now Silverback Patriarch at least kills this, rather than Silverback Patriarch burning the Divine Shield, and then Slam would kill it, and his hero power kills my Silverback Patriarch, and I don't have a good way of dealing with it anymore.
To me.
I'm not sure how much I like the Silverback Patriarch on this board.
What now?
I think I'm just okay with it. The big reason, like, I'd be really worried about playing it because, like, if he draws 3 cards off of his Acolyte of Pain, that's a disaster. But I can execute his Acolyte of Pain if it comes down to it, so I've kind of got a stopgap there. And then throwing out a Loot Hoarder seems fine.
Mind if I roll me?
Get that out there cycling. If he's going to trade his hero power and his 2 mana for it, that's fine. I should say I'm not super happy about potentially executing the Acolyte of Pain, but I think it's worthwhile to put a stopgap in his Scarlet Crusader. Like, he'll try really hard not to trade that. Also, next turn, it's very likely that I get to Sea Giant. Less likely. Not happening. Well, still maybe, actually. If he plays 2 minions, I certainly can. Not happening. Alright. I think executing Kor'kron Elite is super reasonable here. Sadly, there was no way to Sea Giant there. Frostbolt's a really good response to Kor'kron Elite. He's just fire blasting me in the face. He must just be holding a whole handful of spells.
I wonder.
Think about playing these two. If he has Flame Strike, it's like pretty dang bad. But we don't have anything in hand that's good against Flame Strike. Other than just waiting.
I wonder.
Which is plausible, but I don't know. I'd rather play minions onto the board. Even if they get blown up, at least it forces the Flame Strike. That's like not an amazing Flame Strike for him anyhow. It's 2/3 cost cards. It's tempo inefficient for him. Like he's burning his 7th turn to undo my 6th turn. And it is 2 for 1 on cards, but there's also the upside of maybe getting to cast a Sea Giant next turn if he doesn't have Flame Strike. Also, if he blizzards, I can Battle Rage, and it's amazing.
I hear you got a problem.
Alright. I am just fine with that. That doesn't... He could potentially just be holding Flame Strike. Like, he might have just chosen not to do it last turn. It's a very scary card, if you can't tell. So I could play Pyromancer and then Sea Giant. I'm going to choose not to. I'm just going to drop Sea Giant.
What now?
And hit him in the face. Nothing else to hit. Wild Pyromancer, you say? Wild Pyromancer Frost Nova. Alright, so then now he's going to trade his Ravenholt Assassin. And, oh no, he's not. He's gonna hit me in the face. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and Battle Rage for 4 cards. Oh, I should have Wild Pyromancer Battle Raged. That was bad. That was quite bad. I am quite scared for my life right now. He's almost certainly going to hit me in the face again. Ah, that not playing that Wild Pyromancer first was really bad. So he's going to be able to deal 10 damage to me. Nothing down here stops that or gives me any health. If he has a Fireball, I die right now unless I armor up. Gotta armor up. Actually, I still die to a Fireball because he'll have his hero power to finish it off. Oh, no Fireball, no Fireball, no Fireball! I'm cold. Oh, that was such a mistake. Oh my god, he absolutely... Did he never attack me with the Wild Pyromancer? Oh no, he actually did. Okay. Well, never mind then. I don't have an answer for that, though. The only answer that I do have is armoring up. Which puts me 1 out of lethal if he doesn't have any cards that deal any damage to me at all. Period.
I wonder.
I'm gonna drop a Cult Master, Frothing Berserker, and armor up. because I'm just trying to make it really tempting for him to not hit me in the face and put me one away from lethal next, like, just be able to shoot me next turn and kill me. But he's got damage in hand, it kills me. Yeah, that fireball last turn? It looked like it came out of the old side of his hand. Alright, 4 wins. What do you got for me? Not a great arena run, but one where it's at least worth the 150 gold cost of entry, in that you're basically buying a pack for a little bit less than 100 gold. So, see, I essentially bought a pack for 80 gold. The troubles of my arena run. And while I was at it, I also moved a little bit closer on my quest to getting 100 gold for 7 wins. 4 wins is a bit below average for me. I'd say my average, for a while, it was actually higher. I was getting about 5, I would say. Maybe even 6. Alright, we've only got the 1 rare. Not a great pack. Feral Spirit's a good card. I already have 2 of them, though. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. It's, you know, it's a little bit longer form than what we mostly do, but I don't know, I really enjoy recording them. So if you guys enjoy watching them, we could have something, you and I. It'd be beautiful.